Hi guys, welcome back. So for today's video, I am going to be installing my new gauge cluster. It finally came in, so I'll be able to read my temperature now and actually know what speed I'm going. So we're gonna get that done and I will show you guys the cluster that I got. There's the one that I got, and then I actually thought that this was a non-turbo because it has the battery instead of the boost gauge like my other one does. But I realized that actually the turbo one is actually red line at 7,000 instead of 6,000, and then the miles per hour go to 160 instead of 140. So we'll go ahead and install this, and then I will show you guys the steps to change the gauge cluster. Alright, so we're gonna have to remove this, and then we have to remove all of this in order to be able to get this off. So I actually just installed my new one, and if I take off the flash, everything is orange and I don't like it, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Alright, so as you saw earlier when I turned my car on, idles super high. Clearly my car is not idling that high. So what I have to do is turn off the car, put it in the on position, and you see even if I do that, so you're gonna take off the needle and then you're gonna put it back at 0. So when I turn the car on, now that's more of a normal idle, which I still think might be a little bit off, but alright guys, so I ended up taking my car over to my friend Steven just because the wiring, like my gauge cluster wasn't working even after I replaced it with the new one that I got. As you guys saw in the video, the temperature still wasn't reading, the gas gauge still wasn't working, and my RPMs are kind of messed up, but my miles per hour, of course, that still works because I have a manual gauge cluster, not a automatic or electronic one. So we ended up testing the gauge cluster for power to see if it was getting power from the engine harness to the body harness, and it turned out that some of it was getting power but not all, and instead of getting full power of 12 volts it was only getting half at 6 point, I forget what it was, but so I ended up leaving the car with him. He ended up checking it out, fixing wiring, and now my gauge cluster works. So I ended up putting back my old gauge cluster because, as you saw in the video, the new cluster that I got was like orange lights and it was just so ugly. I can never have that cluster in my car. So yeah, so now my gauge cluster is working. Thank you so much to Steven for helping me and helping me with the wiring. That is one thing I do not touch on a car, is wiring, because I really don't know and I don't want to mess anything up. So thank you so much for that. And now this is the end of the video. I know that it was like completely opposite of what I needed. Instead of just needing a new gauge cluster, I needed wiring. But I hope that some of you may have found this video helpful. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe at the bottom, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!